Next up, we are going to talk about
Oh
um,
Lord.
a clip that I got. Um, Apparently, we should all be getting used to the idea of everyone having side relationships, side pieces. Whether you're married, have a girlfriend, boyfriend, none of that really matters. It's all about everyone being able to do whatever they want, and it should be an expected expectation. It's all good out here in these streets.
These are some
So
edgy. These are some edgy topics you picked today. This shit is edgy, bro. My first one, bro, I probably lost like five followers and something. Like, don't do
yeah,
this to me,
so
man.
yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and roll with this. Reminder, real quick. If you're watching this video on the YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel, man. We do this every week. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share the video. Please support logical content as we continue to keep rocking and rolling. But without further ado, you can go ahead and hit that, and we will opine on what these ladies had to say once we finish watching it.
You can love somebody and still fuck another. Because I've been in love and fucked another nigga. And it's like, I don't love that. I love you.
When they fuck another, that don't mean nothing. But when a girl fuck another, she like him. She like seeking to potentially be with that other.
If the girl step out on her man, she has to be like emotionally like not even feeling him no more. No,
I ain't got no
I'm a
feelings.
hoe.
I don't got no feelings.
so you telling me you could be in love with a man and go get some outside?
Like,
You
that's
come
why
right back home like, yep.
That's why I can understand a man. I'm being real. Like, I've done it. I've literally another and been like, ew. Like, I was so bad. Like, this wasn't even worth it.
Yeah.
I went home like, baby, I love you so much.
You're like, what was I doing?
Hungry? Let me cook for you. Like, I felt so bad.
But I'm saying y'all be the same girls y'all got. But then if we be like having a side piece, y'all get mad at us.
Who get mad? One of my is married. Do what you do. Because I'm going to do what I do.
So you don't get
I
jealous?
don't know about you, but I'm going to turn out jealous away.
What if you like him a little bit?
I do. I love him, actually.
You don't get jealous when he go home to his wife?
Absolutely not, baby. I will see you tomorrow. I'll be waking him up like, baby, it's 3 o'clock.
As long as he cutting that check.
Baby, go home. Don't get in trouble now. Not because of me. I'm going to other regardless. They don't give a fuck. I've accepted that fact.
I think it's an understanding. You just gotta have that understanding with them. Everybody's different. That's not for every.
Wow. This is 2022, bro. We are living in the future, bro.
I know. That's what makes me so nervous about this. I actually live in the city where they make that podcast. So I'm just, it just freaks me out because it's like, that's a small sample size, obviously, because there's a handful of women that were participating in that. But if I were to extrapolate that to the rest of the population, like I think it's reasonable to at least assume that there are a fair amount of women who think like that. But go ahead. What did you and for context, the one who was doing the most of the talking, the one who's in our little things that we got here, right?
Yeah.
That's Diamond the Body.
Okay, I thought so.
Yeah, that's the Diamond the Body, the chick who said she's been with 2,000 people sexually. Both men and women. That's we talked about her a couple videos ago. She got 2,000 bodies. So
minimum.
At least she's consistent. Go ahead.
Okay, so wow. So let me just say this. I'll start with saying this. So, gentlemen, just be careful where you fish at. Be careful what's going on. Okay. These women, okay, they lived too close to a power plant or something. Where there's harsh chemicals floating downstream. And they came out mutated. Not every woman thinks like this. All right. But there is a large population of women. It's a growing population of women who are coming out with these extra fins. And so with this, so if you have one of these new types of women, follow the code she just gave. You're going to get hurt if you're trying to keep her loyal, or if you're trying to stay loyal to such a mindset. So you're going to have to know what kind of fish you have. All right. Now, if you have yourself a nice, respectable woman, they come off respectable. All right. They don't have the lace fronts. All right. They don't have pounds of makeup. All right. They don't look like these women looked in the video. I mean, those women, I'm sorry, but I am judging a book by its cover nowadays. And if I see a woman like that, doesn't mean I'm gonna just stray away. Okay. It's just like, oh, okay, you're a fiction book, so I'm gonna put you in the fiction category, and everything that you tell me is fiction. Then you can find the nonfiction women because, well, aesthetically, they come off in a way where they're not trying to look fake because they don't have a whole body full of fake stuff. So they're coming in with a different type of cover. Once you ask questions, read the summary on the back. All right. Read the preface, you know what I'm saying? Skim through, read through a couple chapters. And you say, hey, this one's solid. This is nonfiction. And you put that in the nonfiction category. That's the one that you try to pursue a major relationship with and all this other good stuff. But if they're over here in this fiction category where everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie, is a finesse, it's a whatever, and it's status quo, mainstream, new age, whatever, then tread those waters lightly, because if you invest too much into that, you are going to get damaged, because these are damaged women who are seeking to damage other people. So, yeah, so that's my initial thoughts on this. I mean, this is pretty wild stuff. How do you feel about this, bro?
Yeah, so let me look this up real quick because I'm curious. I'm literally doing this on the spot here.
Diamond the body. I was like, when I looked this clip, I was like, is this that 2000 Bodies girl? Because if it's not her, she's looking and sounding eerily similar. And honestly, and I'm not trying to take food out of her mouth, but we don't need this to be a thing. She does not need to be parading around social media, spreading hoe code and making it sound like it's cool. Because
it is cool, yeah.
Because, like I said, man, the damaged nature in which she views reality, she's really trying to spread that logic and try to make it sound reasonable and cool. But yeah, my bad, bro. What you had to say?
No, I completely get it, man. So it's important to note. You said what is basically the central point of my message here. Not every woman thinks like this. No. So, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I think it's very important let me just talk to men specifically real quick. So it's very important for men to understand what you're getting yourself into when you operate your dating life on the internet. Specifically, when you operate your dating life on social media, when you have made the decision, consciously or subconsciously, that the primary mode by which you're going to meet women is through the use of your device. And I don't give a damn whether you're using that device to meet women on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, OnlyFans, Snapchat. I don't give a damn what the platform is. Please understand that when you've decided that you're going to orient your life with respect to how you meet women through that type of activity, this is what you're going to run into. I also believe that there is a lot of women who don't think this way, who don't live like this. But I do think the majority of the women who are on the internet think like this and behave this way. I don't know. So we know who Diamond the Body is. I don't know who any of those other women in that video clip are. But if I had to guess, and we could do some further investigation and do a follow-up video on this, I'm pretty sure at least half of those other women probably got an OnlyFans or probably an Instagram model or something of that nature. So it strikes me as not surprising whatsoever that they would parrot that kind of speech, because when you live your life on these various channels, when essentially you have replaced your living body with that of an interactive avatar, you have no choice but to basically go all in on that. These women are avatars. They're not real people. Okay. They operate life based upon transaction, not upon a connection with an individual. Right. So like if you are somebody, man or woman, because you got dudes who are like this too. So if you are a man or a woman, if you are someone who cares about genuine connection, and I don't mean you say it, but in secret, you're actually a transactional person, because you got a lot of posers out here too. You got a lot of people who will walk around saying, I want a genuine connection, but they all in DMs and they're all on OnlyFans and they all over the Instagrams. Okay. Liars, straight up hypocrites. I got no time for people like that. And there's a lot of those too on both sides, men and women. But if you are an individual who truly does care about genuine connection, understand that if you are orienting your mode by which you make connections through your device and on these various channels, you're going to run into these avatars. These women aren't even real. They're not real human beings. Can you imagine what a normal conversation with these kind of chicks is even like? What do you even talk about with them?
Normal?
you know what I mean? Exactly. That's my point right there. That's my point. What are y'all talking about? How many followers you got? Who DM'd you? How many likes you got for your last post?
No, traveling.
The kind of bag that you're gonna get because you're going to collab with somebody. And you know what I mean by collab. So, you know, what do you even talk about with people like this? And so, you know, my concern is there's just people who have kind of gotten lost in the sauce. You know, you got guys who care about genuine connection, trying to meet women, not in person, but on their devices. And you got women who care about genuine connection, trying to meet men, not in person, but on their devices. And, you know, I've talked oftentimes about social atrophy and whatnot, but this is especially important for men. You have to be able to meet women on your own merit by putting to use your social skills. And you got to take your bumps and bruises. If your social skills aren't good, guess what? You can actually work on them to make them better. But you know what you can't work on? You know what you know what you can't work on? Making a chick who is an avatar, a living avatar, who operates her connections based purely off of transactions into a person who doesn't live that way. You're not going to make that. You're not going to make that happen. You're not going to get them off that hill. They're going to die they're going to draw a line in the sand and they're going to die on that hill, because to them, they're living life the right way. How pompous and proud were they to talk about why women shouldn't be mad that dudes have side chicks? You know, one of the dudes in the video was like, who's mad? You know why she had that kind of response? Because she has side dudes. Because they live this side piece life. And so my thing is, go ahead, do your thing, live your side piece life. But number one, don't come to me perpetrating a fraud, trying to make it seem as though you're only doing this because you haven't found a connection yet. No, you actually like doing this, sir or ma'am. So stop bullshitting. And number two, lean into it. Continue to be a living avatar and be a transaction, a walking transaction. Just don't pollute the waters of those who are looking for the genuine connections. And you have a lot of people who are just so lost in the sauce. They just don't know the difference anymore, because you have people, you know, with one foot in one world and one foot out in the other one. They're kind of walking in both universes at the same time. And this is what creates the confusion. I think for guys, you just have to be able to recognize, yeah, these are mutated fish. You know, it's like they were in Chernobyl when the meltdown happened, and they just live their lives this way. Stay far away. And please understand that these are not the only women who can satisfy your desires, who can have the kind of body that who can have the kind of body that you like, who have the kind of facial features, whatever your preferences are. It is not just women on the internet who can meet that. Please understand that there is a whole world out there. So the quicker you get off your phone and stop thinking that everything takes place on social media, on the internet, on the OnlyFans page that you give your hard-earned money to, that you should be putting into actually working on your actual social skills, the better you'll be off for it. And, you know, like, again, it applies to women as well, but I think it's a message that's most important for men, because the modern day sexual marketplace is something that has been commandeered primarily by women. Men operate a very small space in that ecosystem. It is mainly women who are dominating those spaces. Number one, because they're visual mediums and women benefit most from visual mediums. And number two, because you got so many men who are just willing to capitulate to this stuff and just give their time, money, energy, and attention to it when they shouldn't be. And so this is the kind of stuff that we can look at and say, hey, man, if this is something that you want to avoid, and it should be something that you want to avoid, this is what you could be getting yourself into if you don't avoid it. So stay far away. That girl that you saw at Panera Bread or at Starbucks, you know, or if you were in the mall buying a gift for your mom's birthday and you saw, you know, and you saw the chick who works at some department store or something like that, you know, go talk to those women. If you go out with your buddies on a weekly basis to a bar after work and you're doing your happy hour thing and you see women there, don't ignore those women, but then go home and get on OnlyFans. Like, go talk to those women, bro. There's a chance that you might still run into this foolishness even in those places, because it is a behavior that's becoming so rampant. But you want to position yourself in such a way that you are maximizing your opportunities for success. And you maximize your opportunities for success by doing it the old damn fashioned way, in person, and not living your life on the internet trying to interface with these walking avatars.
Oh, well said, bro. And if you just look at that room full of women, all right, again, I've gotten to this space where I'm judging books by its cover now. I'm too old to be taking people's word for stuff anymore. If you are telling me on the front cover of whatever book you decided to walk out the house like that. And so on your front cover, it says thought. Well, I'm not going to believe anything that you tell me. Your aesthetics tell me that you're a thought. So, oh no, no, you know, you're just trying to find somebody that believes your lies.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Every woman in that thing didn't look like wife material. Not one of them. I wouldn't marry any one of those women in the room, just off, you know, face value. And so those women, because they live that lifestyle, they have to wear the uniform of somebody that has that lifestyle. And that's why I was saying, if you see the cover, we're getting in this space right now where people are really choosing hard on their lifestyles. Now, there's still people, like you said, on the fence that's still trying to play people. But there's this group of people who have chosen a hard lane of, I'm living like this. And they tell you, it's on their sleeve, literally. So you don't have to, if you do decide to entertain yourself with that, just know what you're getting yourself into. That's all I'm saying. So if that's your cup of tea, because, hey man, I just want something quick, I want something easy, I'm just trying to then do whatever. Those are the women for it. You know what I'm saying? If you want to have a main chick and then side chicks, those are the women for it. Go do it over there, because everybody's sharing everybody over there. So that's that lane. Go over there, y'all have fun. You know, my thing is, when it comes to those people trying to infiltrate people who want to live normal lives and not this weird stuff, that's when I have an issue with this type of stuff. And like I said, man, I didn't have the wool. You can call it wool. I've had situations, they didn't look like this though. You know, they look normal.
Yeah.
And they still tried to play this stuff with me. So my spidey senses have increased since then. All right, so don't try it, ladies. All right, so my spidey senses have increased since then, and that's why I'm doing the book by the cover thing to eliminate immediately certain candidates from me even entertaining certain levels of conversation with them, and so these girls play street ball. They can't, oh, look at her handles, woo, they play street ball. But where I'm trying to aspire to is not only be in a league but win a championship. All right, so having a street baller on my roster is not conducive to me winning a championship. Those skills only work in the street. So you can have your highlights, your whoop-de-doops, and your whatever the hells, but that's all out there with people that aren't in the league. And so when I'm doing my search and I'm out here, it's like, hey, are you at least aesthetically, because I gotta shoot first. So what are you shooting at, and where are you shooting at? And that's the important thing. These type of women congregate at certain watering holes. They congregate at certain watering holes, and they're always doing that type of stuff over there. Now, if you go to that watering hole, understand where you're at. All right, you're in the elephant graveyard, so conduct yourself accordingly. Oh, but this one different. Yeah, man, because she ain't dressed like the other ones, and she only out here for her homegirl birthday. Don't fall for it, bro. Do not. They congregate at certain watering holes. All right. There's a woman who is not spending so much time to look like a prostitute. All right. And she's normal. She just wears face moisturizer when she walks out of the house. And you know what I'm saying? She doesn't have the latest whatever on. And she's just going to work and going home. And she's solid when you talk to her. She may be boring, but that's safe. Nowadays, man, they have, and I said this before in another one, man, all of this exciting glitz and glamour that's going on, it's all a facade. And if they're out here with this, oh yeah, girl, I live this life, I do this, I do that, all of this excitement, it eventually gets dangerous over time. And if you look back at successful marriages, they may do stuff, they may travel, they may do this, but it's so safe that it's boring. It just looks like it's so stale, it's so cookie cutter, and that's the money. But if they're out here living a reality TV show lifestyle, where the guy looks like he's a part of a reality show, she looks like she's a part of a reality show, and they're just out here reality showing it up. I wonder how long that's going to last. Is that going to be those 30, 40-year marriages that we grew up seeing? I highly doubt it, because they're only attracted to stimuli, and they need more and more stimuli to keep their relationship interesting. So this is some new age stuff, man. This is new age stuff, and it is gotten to the point where it was crawling before. This is in full-blown sprint. I mean, this is a full-blown sprint. I mean, now this is turning into a marathon. They're still going. I thought this was just going to be like a trend. I mean, now they're growing wings.
Yeah.
So this is and that's why I'm saying, bro. So when you see this going on in the streets, don't be afraid to judge a book by its cover. Oh, would you want somebody to judge you by? I would hope so.
Yeah,
I would hope so, because if I remind them of somebody that did them wrong in the past, they should be cautious when they talk to me.
Yep.
And so and it's on them, after I'm doing whatever I'm doing and saying what I'm saying or living however I'm living, It's on them to actually be like, hey, I want to be with this or I don't. And so it's the same thing goes, man. If I seen this girl, didn't know her from whatever, but if I met her and because we were both interested in one another and she started to talking, I mean, she's telling you right now, all her code, everything she says is, hey, I'm a thought. Hey, I'm a thought. Hey, this is thoughty right here. This is so thoughty.
Yeah.
I'm a thought. And it's like, oh, okay, well, you know what I'm saying? I found her at Publix. I thought this was going to be different. I didn't catch her at the club, but she's telling me, and she looks like, you know, somebody who I would meet at a club. So, you know, take it how you however you can, guys. But yeah, man, don't be afraid to judge a book by its cover.
One thing that this new human stuff, where you know, this hyper liberal stuff, like I can do whatever I want. I don't like following rules. I live in, you know, this, and you know, we as a society have accepted that. Like that's the standard now is let people do whatever they want and still assume that they're good people. And I don't believe in that. But one thing that this universal acceptance hyper liberal culture that we've adopted has been good for, it's people do tell you who they are up front now because they have so much confidence in what they're doing, because there's less of a culture around chastising what used to otherwise be perceived as unbecoming behavior. So now, because we've done away with that, it's not okay to do this or that, because, you know, then at that point you are, you know, fill in the blank, racist, sexist, fat shaming, homophobic, blah, blah, blah. So now, because we're doing away with all this and we're saying, hey, everybody, be who you want, and it's okay because you're still a great person, even if you're a thought. Like now, you know, it's a good thing in my opinion, because it makes it easier for you to be able to spot these people. Exactly. And then at that point, when you become entangled with it, at that point, it's on you, because this person told you who they were and you elected to do it anyway. At that point, it's on you. No one was fooling you. And so that's the good thing. That's the good thing about it, is now you'll have these chicks showing up to Publix and they got, you know, fishnet, you know, stockings on, or, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Hey man, listen, when a person tells you who they are, believe them. Okay, you got a girl, she might be in the grocery store, but she looks like she's had a BBL. Take that for what it's worth. Like, look, man, they're out here and they're telling you who they are. So you'd best believe them, lest you find yourself, you know, caught up and you become body number 2001. So it is what it is, man. I just like videos like this because it gives you, hey man, listen, this is how prevalent this stuff is. That's a room full of women saying, I'm all about polyamory, I'm all about polygamy, I'm all about side pieces, and you know, in their minds, that's the right way to go about living life. And you know, just recognize the signs. If
it was open where everybody was coming in on the front end discussing these things, then who gives a shit? My issue is the side part of it, the lying part, because a lot of these people get off on the excitement of cheating on somebody. And so this and that's the part of it where it's just like, that's why they have to lie to you. So it's just like, hey, just tell me you're dealing with somebody else so I can deal with somebody else. They're not going to do that.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing that rubs me the wrong way with it is the hypocrisy. If you surveyed all of those people, all of those women in that room, and asked them, do you want to be married? They'd probably say yes.
The overwhelming majority.
And it's like, no, you don't. Yeah. You don't. But they feel like that's the right thing to say because there's still a shred of traditionalism in them that knows that as a woman, that's something that they should care about. So they're going to blurt it out. It's almost like a reflex. Yeah, I want to be married. Yeah, I care. It's these men. And now we go to blaming the men for their choices. When it's like, no, you don't actually want that. You don't. So I have an issue with the hypocrisy. There's all of these people walking around saying they want this when they don't. Your behavior suggests everything about you. Like, You can't tell me you want that and you're out here in the streets doing the opposite. That's BS. It's bullshit. Who are you trying to fool? Don't tell me you want to be a wife. And conversely, don't tell me you want to be a husband. You don't. I respect you more if you say, no, I don't want those things. I just like hoeing around. Okay, fine. Thanks for letting me know.
Right.
But don't give me this story about how you want the other thing when you really don't want that.
Right.
And them chicks will tell you, they'll be the first ones to be like, yeah, I do want. And then they'll be the first ones to expect the guy to accept them and all their baggage when they've gotten old enough to the point where now they have a sense of urgency and they see their time expiring. And so it's like, well, let me take committed relationships more seriously. And you want a guy to accept that trade-off. No guy's gonna accept that trade-off.
Yeah, factual.
It's ridiculous. Bro. It's ridiculous. So yeah, dudes, stay away. And for whatever it's worth, ladies, stay away too, damn it.
Yeah, like that goes both ways. There's men out here.
Yeah, it goes both ways. You done been with enough dudes to know when you dealing with a dude that's shiesty. Yet you keep getting with these dudes who's shiesty. That's on you.
Right.
Damn. Sound like a broken record, but they keep doing it. And then they make videos and posts crying, mad at men. No, that was on you. But
all facts, bro.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and move on. Appreciate y'all. We in Miami, Dime in the Body. Shouts out.
Oh, yeah.
Thoughts around the
Miami.
world. Thoughts around the world.